For a while now, I've been inundated with in-video ad reads for Incogni and DeleteMe when watching some of my favorite creators. And because I listen to all of Legal Eagle's videos, I've heard all about these privacy services. But that's the ad. What about the reality? Well, I researched it. Incogni, DeleteMe, PrivacyBee, Kanary, Optery, OneRep, and other similar services promise to erase your personal data from the internet. Sounds amazing, right? Just click subscribe and poof, your personal information vanishes from data brokers, scam lists, and creepy people finder sites. Except it doesn't, because privacy isn't something you can buy, not when the entire internet is designed to leak. This will be your introduction to the world of digital janitors, subscription privacy, and fake control over real data. Welcome back to Dad Ruins Everything. Last time I ruined ride-sharing, the gig economy fairy tale that turned into a surveillance-ridden, traffic-choking dumpster fire, where rides that were initially VC subsidized collapsed competitors and left almost everyone worse off. Today I ruined something more subtle: privacy subscription services that sell you a band-aid for the open wound that is modern data collection. Let's dig in. Data privacy services rely on one thing: your fear. They tell you that your data is out of control and accessible by others. To be fair, they say this because it's true. They throw phrases at you like, your personal information is being sold, your digital footprint is putting you at risk, and remove yourself from hundreds of data broker sites. And that last part, they're not wrong. There are hundreds of data brokers. They do sell your name, address, purchase history, location data, political preferences, family connections, income estimates, and everything in between. But here's what they're not telling you. Many of these sites they remove you from don't keep your data permanently removed. Some data brokers just re-add you after 30, 60, or 90 days. Others ignore opt-out requests altogether unless you threaten legal action, and even then only in states with strong privacy laws. And some data brokers don't respond to third-party requests at all. That's right, Incogni may not even be legally allowed to opt you out of some databases on your behalf. That's weird. I've never heard that on an ad read, and it's definitely not on their homepage. The first thing I need to mention is that data privacy companies have a real service. So I'm going to break down what these services really do behind the scenes. They send automated opt-out requests to the most common data brokers, usually around 100 to 150 companies. They scan people search websites like Spokeo, White Pages, and Intellius to see if your name shows up. They send follow-ups to try and keep your data down. And they provide a dashboard so you feel in control and like you're paying for something worthwhile. But here's what they don't, and can't, do. Remove your information from government records, court filings, or property databases. Stop companies from collecting your information in the first place. Block tracking by ISPs, apps, and online advertisers. And fix the systemic issue that allows your data to be sold like turkey legs at Renfest. Also, some of these services track how many removals they've done for you. What they don't mention is that some of those are duplicates, the same broker, re-added and re-removed over and over. So yes, they work, a little, but they're not erasers, they're more like napkins at a leaking oil well. Which leads us to the actual problem. The data economy is designed to be leaky. Let's say you're careful, use incognito tabs, more on that in a future episode. You avoid Facebook quizzes, you block trackers, you don't post anything personal online. You're still in hundreds of databases because you own property. That's a public record. You have a driver's license. That data is often sold. You signed up for a store loyalty card? Congrats, your info's in a retail marketing pipeline. You downloaded an app that needed your location? There's a 50-50 chance it was sold to brokers. This isn't about carelessness. This is about structural failure. The only real fix? Systemic privacy reform. But Incogni can't do that. Since you need the force of law to implement a truly effective solution for this kind of problem, I should mention that the European Union is far ahead of the US in this area, and there's still plenty of holes in their GDPR. And while no real federal protections are in place for Americans, 11 states have relatively new comprehensive privacy laws. California started us off with the CCPA, and Virginia, Colorado, Connecticut, Utah, Texas, Montana, Oregon, Iowa, Indiana, and Tennessee have active laws with varying levels of protection. Florida, Delaware, New Hampshire, Kentucky, Nebraska, and Maryland have passed laws that are not yet in effect. If you live in another state, ask your state government representatives to do something useful and pass a privacy law. Generally, these laws have some or all of the following rights. Access. See what data a company has on you. Correction. Fix inaccurate data. Deletion. Request your data to be deleted. Opt out. Say no to data sales, targeted ads, or profiling. Data portability. Download your data into a usable format. And an appeals process. If a company denies your request, you can appeal. But back to these data privacy services. Let's talk about the real business model here. These services charge $10 to $30 a month. That means they'll need your data to keep showing up, or else why would you stay subscribed? They're incentivized by the appearance of activity, a never-ending cycle of data recollection and removal, and subscription revenue based on fear. The perfect customer is someone who's scared, but doesn't dig too deep. Now, to be fair, these companies aren't scams. They do perform a service, but that service thrives on the illusion of control, and not actual control. And just like antivirus software in the 2000s, they'll happily sell you peace of mind, even if the threats are already in the building. Here's what none of them want you to hear. You cannot delete your digital footprint. You can only make it harder to connect the dots. Privacy services don't remove government court records, real estate transactions, voter registration, in some states anyway, credit header data, which doesn't require your consent to be shared, and data held by ad networks, apps, or platforms with first-party tracking privileges. They also don't delete anything already purchased and stored by marketers, historical caches, data collected by background check companies, and anything collected legally through bulk lists. In short, if your goal is to disappear, you're going to need more than a $129 a year subscription. You're going to need time, legal threats, VPNs, burner phones, mail forwarding, synthetic IDs, and a new zip code. Or maybe just call Top Notch from Snowfall for a fake passport. For everyone else, these tools just tidy up the mess until the mess comes back. Now, this is the part that really bugs me. Incogni and its competitors are selling a false promise that someone can manage your privacy for you. They can't. True privacy, to the extent that that's even possible, takes personal action and constant vigilance. You need to know what apps are tracking you, regularly audit your devices and accounts, read or at least skim terms of service, set up throwaway emails and masked phone numbers, look down your credit reports, use hardware-based two-factor authentication when possible, because SMS two-factor authentication, while slightly better than nothing, is still not very effective, and delete what you no longer use. This is work. Outsourcing your privacy entirely is like hiring someone to do your push-ups. They might show you a report, but you're still out of shape. In terms of what you can actually do, if you want to reclaim even a little bit of your digital privacy, here are some better steps. Freeze your credit with all 3 bureaus. Use email aliasing tools. Use privacy-focused browsers like Brave or extensions like uBlock Origin and Privacy Badger. Routinely opt out from data brokers manually. Yes, it sucks, but it works in the short term. Create burner email and phone accounts for shopping and subscriptions. Stop giving your real birth date unless it's legally required. And use end-to-end encrypted messengers like Signal instead of SMS. And if you want to support real change, push for a federal consumer data privacy law. Until you get one, push to get or strengthen state-level laws. You can't pay someone to make you invisible, but you can make yourself a little harder to find. The bottom line is that Incogni and similar services aren't exactly scams, but let's just say that they're the chiropractors of data privacy. You get to pay them forever for a questionable service. And that's the rub. It's a service, not a solution. They automate what you could do yourself. They charge a fee for a fight that you didn't sign up for, and they survive by reminding you how unsafe the internet is, while giving you just enough dashboard candy to feel like you're doing something. They're digital placebo pills. They don't block data collection, they don't fix the broken system, they just clean your record, or part of it anyway, until next month. So I hope Incogni and the services like it are sufficiently ruined for you, or for someone who's considering a $15 a month Hope is a Service subscription to fix a data economy built on surveillance. If you liked this episode, or if your inbox ever exploded after signing up for a sweepstakes 10 years ago, hit like, subscribe, and tell me your worst data broker horror story in the comments. Thanks, and may your footprint be light, your cookies be blocked, and your name stay out of the next People Finder dump. Have an awesome day.